Hello there. Thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name is Paula. Today we will be working through a sequence which is super lovely for a bit of a break from working at a desk or working on a computer for a long period of time. It is a whole body sequence, so we will move through the whole body, but a little bit of extra attention through the hands and the wrists, a little bit through the upper body, just opening up and refreshing. So great anytime, but particularly if you've been working and sitting for a while. So we're going to make a start in our Japanese seated position. If for any reason this doesn't work for you, then you could sit on a block, sometimes that helps, or you could just stay in your cross-legged position. So just see what works. So tops of the feet down, and sitting down on your heels, and we'll just take the left hand into the right, cupping the hand, tips of the thumbs lightly touching, and closing down the eyes when you're ready. Starting to draw the attention inwards. Starting to gently lengthen into your breathing, slowing down the inhale and slowing down the exhale. Picturing the length of the entire spine, all the way from the base, allowing the tailbone to drop down as you lengthen up and out, all the way through the crown of the head. Tips of the shoulders dropping away from the ears. Just another few moments here with the eyes closed. And then opening up the eyes. We're going to stay in this position, but we're going to just come up and tuck the toes under, so we're opening up through the soles of the feet. The toes are tucked under, sitting back towards the heels. If this is too much on your feet, then just feel free to stay flat or come to a cross-legged position. Thinking about squeezing in through the inner thighs and then start to lengthen up through the entire spinal column and the sides of the waist. Crown of the head reaching up. And then take the hands forward in front of the shoulders. We're going to squeeze the fists and then release. Lengthen out through the fingers. Squeeze the fists and then release. Squeeze, taking an inhale, and then exhale as you release. Whatever feels good for the breath, it doesn't matter right now. Just squeezing and then releasing. Squeezing and releasing. We'll just go a little bit quicker for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeezing in, holding for a moment, releasing. And we're going to go one more time, fast ones, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping your fists, we're going to take some circles with the wrists here, outward circles. Checking in with your breathing, starting to slow that breath down again. And then going the other way, inward circles. Noticing that little bit of heat that's been generated by that small action. And then let's release that down. Just give the hands a little bit of a shake out. And then coming forward into your tabletop position, but it'll be slightly shorter, so the wrists not so far forward underneath your shoulders, a little bit closer in, but still shoulder distance apart, feet and knees hip distance apart here. And then let's turn the palms to face in towards the knees. Palms down, and try not to lock out the elbows here. You might just take a little micro bend there through the elbows, tips of the shoulders away from the ears. And we'll take a couple of cat-cows in this position. If this is too strong on your wrists or your forearms, then please feel free to point the fingers forward. We're going to release the belly down, extending through the spine, lifting the eyes, take an inhale, and then exhale to draw the navel in, curl the tailbone under, tucking the chin in. And then again to release, extending through the spine, inhale, and then exhaling. And one more, inhale. And exhale. come back into your neutral spine, taking an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to lean a little bit further back. You might want to bring your hands a little bit further in towards the knees. Just see how you go. And if it gets too much, then please just back out of this. It can be quite strong. See where you can get to. Find the breath. We'll just take another couple of moments here. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then shifting the weight forward, turning the palms to face back down and taking the wrists underneath the shoulders now. And then let's take the back of the right hand and just go the other way for a moment. Just a little bit of weight into that right hand, not too much. Try to lift out of that left wrist. And then we'll swap it around. So placing that right hand down, back of that left hand. Just using your breathing. Just that little bit of weight into that left hand. Just be mindful here. And then let's release that left palm back down. Tuck the toes under, coming into your down facing dog. Sealing down through the inner edges of the hands. Drawing the quadriceps up. Just taking a breath here. And then on the next inhale, we're going to take a spinal roll into our plank position. So you might need to lengthen out your position so the wrists are just slightly forward of those shoulders, looking towards the top edge of the mat. Press the mat away, take an inhale, and then exhale to bend through the knees, lift the hips back into your down facing dog. Take an inhale to spinal roll back into your plank position, tips of the shoulders away from the ears, look towards the top edge of the mat, bend through the knees, press the hips back. And again, spinal roll, unfurl into your plank, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, press the hips back. We'll just go one more like that. Spinal roll, inhale. And then exhale. Finding your down facing dog, taking a breath here. Rising up onto the balls of the feet, take that right leg up into your three-legged dog, inhale, keeping it parallel if you can, and then stepping it forward in between the hands, dropping down onto that left knee, release the top of the left foot down. Just keeping the hands down on the fingertips for a moment, for one breath. And then coming up, placing the hands, interlacing the hands onto the thigh here. Pressing down through the hands, reaching that right knee forward. Shoulders relax away from the ears as you lift the sternum, lift the eyes, pressing down into that right thigh. Try to lift up through that left hip. One more full breath. Take an inhale to shift the hips back into a more of an upright position, and then take the arms up alongside the ears. Taking hold of that left wrist, taking an inhale, and then as you exhale, side bend over to the left. And that left palm turning to face down, maybe the eyes turning to look towards the left. Ground down through that right heel. Keep breathing. And then take an inhale. Come back to center, releasing those arms down. Place the palms down, tuck the back toes under. Step back into your down facing dog. Take an inhale. Exhale to walk your hands back towards your feet. Feeling free to bend the knees here as much as you need to let the head relax down. And you could keep the hands there, or you could take hold of your elbows. And we'll just hold out Uttanasana for a couple of breaths. Just feeling into gravity, lengthening out the entire spinal column. Allow the eyes to be settled somewhere still. One more breath. Releasing those hands. Walk your hands back out into your down facing dog. Take that left leg up into your three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, step it forward in between the hands, coming down to that right knee. Release the top of the right foot down. Just taking a breath here. And then shifting the weight up, interlacing the hands, pressing down through into that left thigh, letting that left knee shift forward a little bit as you press down, drop the shoulders down, lift the sternum and the eyes up. And we're trying to lift up through that right hip at the same time. And then taking an inhale to shift the hips slightly back, draw the lower ribs in, bringing the arms up, inhaling. Take hold of that right wrist, and then as you exhale, side bend over to the left. Eyes can look straight ahead, or you can take them to look up slightly past that right upper arm. Opening up through the right side of the body. Find the breath. And inhale back to center, releasing the arms down. Tuck the back toes under, step back into down dog. Take a breath, inhale. Stay for the exhale. Just one more inhale. Exhale, walk the hands back towards the feet. And then soften through the knees, take a spine roll to come all the way up to standing. Reach the arms forward and up, inhale. As you exhale, drop the tailbone down, open the arms out to the side, and then take the hands to the back of the pelvis. Fingers pointing up if you can, thumbs to the inside. Use the thumbs to drop the tailbone down, hips forward, and then lifting the sternum, lifting the chest. Squeeze the elbows in. If it feels comfortable, you can let the head drop all the way back. Trying to look for the back behind you, or the back wall behind you. And then taking an inhale. Coming back upright, reaching the arms up, inhaling, exhale. Feeling free to soften through the knees as we come down into our Uttanasana. Relax the head down. Fingertips slightly forward in front of you, and then walk your feet a little bit wider, turning the toes out, coming down into your Malasana, letting the hips come all the way down. And you could sit down on the mat if you need to here. So two options, you could either just hold your Malasana in with your prayer position here with the hands, elbows pressing out as the inner thighs press in, or taking your broken wing variation. So back of that left hand tucking into the side of the left waist, elbow to the inside, and then the back of the right hand to the right waist, elbow to the inside. Just holding it here. And you could keep your eyes open, steady gaze, or allow the eyes to close. Find the breath. Just gently continuing to lengthen through the spine. Just noticing if there's any little pockets of space that open up. 2 more breaths. And gently starting to release, opening the eyes if they've been closed. Walking your hands forward to find your down facing dog for a moment. We'll take 1 breath in down dog. Looking forward towards the hands, coming down onto one knee and then the other knee, sitting down, extending the legs out long in front of you, making sure you've got enough room to roll onto your back. Press down through the backs of the legs, arms up at shoulder height. Take an inhale, exhale to draw the navel in to roll all the way down, arms down by your side. Bending the knees up, feet hip distance apart, and feet parallel. And then taking an inhale to curl the tailbone under, rolling all the way up into your Setu Bandhasana or bridge. Option to keep the arms down or interlacing the hands underneath the back. You might creep up a little bit higher on the tips of the shoulders, trying to press down through the outer edges of the arms. Trying to keep the knees hip distance apart, so they're not opening out to the side. Keep pressing down through the base of the big toes. Taking one more inhale, lifting the hips up, releasing those arms, rolling all the way down. Just taking a moment, opening the feet out as wide as the mat, letting the knees drop in. Closing down the eyes if that feels good. And then let's extend the legs out one at a time, just moving into your Shavasana, palms facing up. So with each exhale, allowing the body to get a little bit heavier and a little bit softer. Imagining any residual tension in the body with each exhale, just being absorbed by the ground underneath you. Letting go of anything you don't need. Allowing yourself to rest here for the next couple of minutes. Please feel free to stay resting here if you would like to. Thank you so much for taking some time today to care for yourself. I'll see you next time. Namaste.